Hi guys, welcome back to DrivinLife. I'm your co-host, Owen Trinkler. We're going to do something really cool today. Donovan, you're my co-host. Now you're going to be my navigator.
Yeah, I know it. And I think this is probably the first time, maybe the second time, you and I have ever ridden together in the same car.
It is. So guys, what we're going to do today, we're going to go drive the course that's going to be live here in about a week or so. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix track. We're going to go drive it right now in the TP4K. Talk about what this means for the city, or
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I'm so excited this is going to happen.
I know, me
But
too.
I can't drive in it, but
This is cool. Well, you know what? Not this year, but
yeah.
there's always
Maybe next year.
Well, let's talk about this car a little bit.
Yeah, this is a great car.
Cayman GT4, right?
Yeah,
And you've raced these cars.
I have. Yeah, we've raced them at Team TGM, and now we're friends of the podcast. Dr. Ross Robinson was nice enough to loan his Cayman GT4 to us today to do this lap.
Maybe the last time we ever get this
Hopefully
from Dr.
not.
Ross.
Hopefully not.
I think this will be good. But this is, this car was. So the first podcast we ever did was with Dr. Ross, and this car was sitting in the garage. And I think we have a really cool shot of this car. It's been over a year since we launched our podcast, and now good things are happening with the city of Nashville, and the Music City Grand Prix, Big Machine, the vodka, and the hype now is real.
What a positive thing for this to happen in the city. And, and this is now a motorsports town, and we talk about the NASCAR race has been here already. The Fairground Speedway had the SRX experience here a couple weeks ago.
Which both of those were sold out, to the max.
Yeah. And so we both, when this got announced, I knew this was going to be a great thing. And when the previous ownership even tried to get it to happen, I knew this would be a great ticket for the city of Nashville to have. As we head down here, Don, why don't we just take a stroll down Broadway too?
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Well, as we do this as you get a view of Nashville, what it's kind of turned into. Yeah. With all the scooters and bachelorette parties there. We just passed.
The Woo Girls, as we affectionately call the bachelorette capital of the world now. But
hopefully none of their parties get upset, like they did for the draft. They didn't know the draft was going to be here. There's going to be a race here next weekend.
Yeah.
So.
And there's going to, it should bring a lot of, we know it's going to bring a lot of spectators into town. And it is going to close off a significant chunk, right down by the stadium. But I just think the timing is so perfect for this. We're ready to get back into life, and motorsports has been kind of the leader really with
back
activity, and so to bring this race to Nashville, like you said, after the SRX race and the NASCAR race out at the Nashville Super Speedway, this is just massive. It's the coverage is already huge. There's a lot of talk about it. A lot of good stuff going on around this race.
No, there is. I mean, this is this race coming on board now, where Nashville is the event city. Now it's known after the draft happened here a couple of years ago. It's not a secret anymore.
Yeah,
you come here and you talk about it on my travels, as far as on the IMSA circuit. Where you from? Nashville. Oh, great town, love it there. And as we stroll down Broadway, that's why we're going to find out, why everybody loves Nashville so much. And it's the city right now to be for everything. And now this race happening puts Nashville to a different level.
Yeah,
completely.
no, I completely agree. And this is the first of what, four-year deal?
It's a three-year deal with a two-year option. But and we've had Jason Rittenberry on the podcast. And my feelings are, this is going to be the Long Beach of the East Coast.
Oh, I agree.
This is not going away. This is not a 5-year deal. This is forever to happen. And I'm so excited to see this happen for this town. Unfortunately, I know I'm not going to be a part of it, but maybe that'll change in the future.
But you get back. So you're going to be back Sunday. So just so everybody knows, Owen is racing, the IMSA car at Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, on the same weekend. But you're going to be back here Sunday.
I'm going to be back here Sunday. and be able to see the race and stuff. But I'm just so excited for my hometown to get this race, and something that, you know, when I started racing as a 10-year-old boy, you ever thought, you know, you'd see a race down in Nashville in the streets here.
The streets of Nashville, yeah. And I know our friend of the podcast and our studio host, I guess, Ken Twaits.
He's going to be a part of this.
Yeah, he's going to be racing in the
Franklin Road Apparel
in
TA2
the
car.
TA2 car. So he's super excited about it for the same reasons. It's a hometown race, and you know, him being a big part of Nashville, and you know, his life here in the city. So this is it's a really cool thing.
Yeah, I mean, you got Ken, you got Scott Borchetta, who's obviously CEO of Big Machine.
And also races in the Trans Am Series.
Heavily involved with motorsports.
Yeah.
And kudos to Scott for everything he does for motorsports.
Yeah.
I mean, he loves this town, loves racing. And then we've got, obviously, Joseph Newgarden in the IndyCar race from the Hendersonville area. So there's a lot of hometown flavor in this event coming up. And I think there's over 50 TA2 cars. Which
is going to be insane.
Insane on this track. On any tracks it's insane, but a street course, you know, the concrete canyon track is going to be completely different.
But that again shows you the popularity of Nashville.
Oh yeah,
the draw
everybody
wants to be here for
and
this
I think
race.
The World Challenge race is sold out.
Yeah.
I don't know where they capped it. I'm not sure if it was 30 cars, but they did cap that race, and it's at max.
It's packed.
So I mean, everybody wanted to be here, and we're giving you a full view why everybody wants to be here as we kind of stroll down Broadway. All the honky tonks and stuff, and just everybody out there. Daytime's the best time to come down here. No locals come down here at night anymore. So,
although I was down here last weekend.
Did you come down here last? I didn't come down last weekend. We were here during the day. Actually,
it's been a while.
It was on a Friday of last week, but
I was here on Saturday, and
she's shotgunning a beer next to us there.
Yeah. Gotta love that, right? I mean, good for them.
Yeah.
You go, girl.
Go.
Yeah, you're right. I think Nashville is becoming this sporting kind of mecca.
Entertainment.
Yeah. You just combine everything that Nashville offers now is, you know, through the roof. I think the only thing we really need to bring here is Major League Baseball, and I mean, I know Tennessee has basketball in Memphis. Don't know that would ever come here, but it would be a nice trifecta to have, or quad, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, having hockey, football, basketball, and baseball here.
Well, I think everything's centered around the music too. The music scene now here is taking off, and you know, as I've seen, you know, in articles, that this is the event city to be at.
Yeah.
And we can host an event. We can entertain people when the racing's done.
Yeah.
There's going to be entertainment afterwards.
So. Yeah, right, and that's what we saw kind of even with the NFL draft.
Yeah.
You know, people didn't come here just for 3 days; they came for a week.
Yeah.
You know, they stayed weekend to weekend because there's so much to do here, and there's just so much. And now we have the hotel capacity to be able to handle, you know, very large events, and I mean the biggest events that you could have. So.
And you got the NASCAR banquet. I know it didn't happen last year because of COVID, but it'll be back here. And you know, they do the burnouts that we're going down here on Broadway. Is where they do the burnout shows. And they're doing an autograph session, I think, here next Thursday night for the IndyCar guys, as far as sort of a preview party. But you're going to have a lot of fans that are rolling into town that don't even know there's a race going on, but then you're going to have 60,000 fans that are here to see this race. And so this place is just going to be jumping next week.
Yeah. I wonder how many people around us right now think that, like, you're an IndyCar driver, or that we're doing something.
We're doing nothing, really. And I'm nobody.
We're just a couple of guys having fun with the podcast, right?
Yeah. I'm still an IMSA champion, regardless.
Yeah. That is a good point.
It's always in the record books. I said, yep, got it.
Yeah, just IMSA champion.
Understood. Well, Donovan, now we're in the heart of Broadway.
Yeah.
And this is the reason everybody comes to Nashville now. The honky tonks that are here. I mean, back in the day, it was just a few that were down here on Broadway. You talk about Tootsie's and Legends and some of the famous places, but you know, we got the party buses that are going by us right now, and just people everywhere. But this is the event town to be at. That's what I'm saying. If you're coming in for the race, practice and stuff's going on Friday, get over here during the day on Friday. Then go back for the concerts over there at the track Friday night.
Yeah. And then you can always come back downtown. There's always
if you want to.
There's always
somebody's going to be open. Yeah. Something will be open here for sure. So I always imagined a race happening on Broadway. When I was younger, I thought that'd be so cool.
It would be cool.
But now there's no way it could happen. There's too much going on here, you know. That'd be tough to kind of put on, even for because you couldn't keep all the places open.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be tough to do that. So we're turned off Broadway, going up on First Ave now, and headed towards the street course.
Yeah.
Right. We even talked a little bit. We talked about Scott Borchetta with Big Machine locally being here, but Firestone is based here. So Firestone's the sort of the tire of choice for IndyCar, and so that's a really great hometown race for them at the same time. And they haven't had a race here since they ran at the Speedway several years ago when the IndyCar did run out at the Super Speedway. And so to see them come down next to their headquarters, they're building downtown, just a really cool thing to see.
Bridge here, going over the bridge. They've got the center dividers in place now, and you can see this. So we're basically on the track, headed the right direction. So this is what it's going to look like, you know, as they're coming up over this.
Yep. And this wasn't set up. I drove down here a couple weeks ago to see this now. That changes everything visually completely.
So just from a driver's standpoint, on what do you think? You know, width-wise, surface-wise. I mean, how does this going to play out?
As you can feel, and you guys can't feel this, but we're in. Obviously, this is sort of a street car, but it's got a stiffer suspension, and you can feel the waves in the concrete.
Yeah.
The race cars are going to feel that. Yep. And so a lot of the testing that teams do, IndyCar, sports cars, the Trans Am guys, the sports cars, do a lot of testing at Sebring for that, because Sebring has a lot of changing surface from pavement to concrete, and to get ready for that. And obviously the Indy cars have dealt with it in the past when they run Long Beach and Detroit and some other places. The guys in Trans Am, I don't know if they've run that many street courses, so it's going to be interesting to kind of see how they adapt to this course, because they don't really run. They run Sebring, but they don't run a lot of street courses on their schedule at all. And the GT3 and GT4 cars, World Challenge, this may be the only one that they run all year as far as street course, but these teams have experience at other venues and stuff that they've been in Long Beach at one time. So
will you have to set the car up a little bit softer to keep it from bouncing all over the place?
There'll be some. So in the World Challenge stuff in the SRO, you're kind of spec'd out on what you can do, for how the car is homologated. Trans Am, you can do some different things. Obviously, IndyCar, some different things also, but normally it's softer suspension, soften everything up, so it's got a little bit more travel. Maybe keep the car up with the sway bars, that distribute the weight, side to side load, and helps that,
Oh, there's Red Bear. There's all those guys right there. Yeah. So this is coming down behind I guess we're on the front side of the stadium, but this is on the parking lot. Where the paddock area is going to be is in between us. We're on the back side of that, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
Take a left here, and then we'll come down and go across the front. Now, the start-finish line, the starting spot is going to be different from where they're going to finish. And we'll talk about that a little bit. We're going to take a left here and go right in front of the stadium, and I think you can see where the pit entrance is going to be.
It's back there, so we just passed
there.
Yeah,
okay.
So we'll go back around and get to that. But as we make this left, this takes us to where the finish line will be. But this is essentially turn one's coming up, which it's a left-right chicane as we come out of here down this straightaway. So there'll be the suites to the right used by the stadium. This will be to our left. That'll be kind of it goes through the pit lane there.
Yeah, I think this is pit lane. Right
it is, but you enter back there on that turn, further back up the road there. But as we come down here, we won't be able to drive through it, but we can at least look at it. This will be the turn one chicane here, so you'll be set way up to the left here, or to the right to get set up for this left-hand turn. So they're going to enter in here, new piece of pavement there. They'll go in there and make a left, back to the right, also merging pit lane.
That's what I was going to say, is that
we'll be coming out.
Is going to be there.
The blend will be there. So obviously streets are still open here as we come out of the chicane, and we're going to make the right-hand turn to cross back over the bridge. So you're going to be set up all the way to the left, far as you can. Apex this, right-hand turn to head across. Starting our trip across the bridge, which I think they're calling this turn 3.
Oh yeah. And this is the longest like bridge water crossing in motorsports.
It is, and for a street course, these 2 long straightaways is tremendous.
Yeah.
To have this length, normally street courses don't have. I mean, they'll have one kind of straightaway, but to have 2 and 2 spots that you're going to really be able to pass people and set them up, because this will be super important coming out of here.
I was going to say, coming out of here is going to be...
it's going to flatten out a little bit here, as you can see, as far as the camber. It goes off camber a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit,
So I can't change that, and it's sloping back towards kind of where this truck is sitting in front of us at the turn lane. And they're not going to change that. This is a street course.
Yeah,
so
right.
What you're going to find, the car is going to grip up coming in here, probably get a little bit loose because you're trying to put the power down at the same time, but the road's falling away from you. And so you're going to see the cars naturally go a little bit free or loose, power down coming out. All right, so we're going to make the right. And back across the bridge, going up through the gears, maximum speed, 160 miles an hour plus, maybe up to 180, 185 for the Indy cars, maybe somewhere in that range, even for the GT3s and the Trans Am series, because those cars accelerate exceptionally well. But you can feel the little bit of waves going on in the concrete coming across the bridge, so they're going to have to set up for that. So they're going to make this right-hand bend as we come across the bridge coming into turn 4. Super important to have your car where it's not bouncing too much as you get ready to get on the brakes here.
Yeah.
Still, this is all flat out. Now we're back to pavement, and we're going to make the left-hand turn into turn 4. But they're going to be set up way to the right here.
I was going to say, so when you're coming around that corner, you're still going to be way right, coming around there, getting on the brakes, starting to get on the brakes.
Yeah, but you'll be driver's left, and you'll apex that naturally to the inside, but you'll want to do it late, so you're set up on this side.
Over here.
Over here. So you've got to have the cars parallel up against the barrier there to the right, so you can make the left here and carry as much speed as you can. It's actually kind of good as we're sitting here at this light, kind of see as it kind of levels out. We talked about the camber from the last turn, from turn 3, but now it kind of goes a little bit back uphill. And so that's going to help the cars slow down. But Trans Am GT3 cars will be on the brakes in this area right here.
Yeah, so they get a little, I was going to say it almost feels like a little bit of banking, but because it's going uphill, they're going to be diving into the track a little bit harder right through here.
Yeah. It is good. It goes up just uphill just a little bit, but now this is new pavement.
Yeah.
So we just crossed over that. So that's going to be important too, is the transition that happens from the older pavement, how smooth that transition is to this new pavement that's been laid down to make the track smoother here.
Yeah, and this is just in the interest of safety and
making the track better.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this was rough, but it needed to be smoothed out to be in a little better shape.
Because this is going to be a critical corner. You're coming off of, you got a lot of brake coming into here off that huge flat stretch.
You're going to be flat out over the bridge, and this is going to be down to the GT3 cars, probably down to second gear. Indy car obviously they can change their gearing. The GT3 cars can, and GT4 they're spec homologated. The gearing can change in the Trans Am car. This will either be a second, it's a 4-speed box in those cars in the Trans Am, so it's either going to be a second gear, possibly first. It's what I'd probably end up thinking how they're going to gear the cars.
Because we have to be pretty tall gearing for that
straightaway. So that's why they've only got a 4-speed box. Yeah. I think this will probably be a first gear corner, or in between first and second on how they gear the car. All the boxes in the GT4, GT3 cars, 6-speed boxes, but they're spec homologated by the manufacturer. So we'll make the left here for turn 4. Still new piece of asphalt. Donovan, you're hard braking, but you're back on the gas really hard here. Just a blip. And there, man, you're still flat out right through here. Just kind of little narrow areas. We head up on the gas hard. I guess they're calling that turn 5 there, coming to turn 6. You can look at the map and correct me there as we come up.
Yeah, this is turn 5. turn 5. So I think they call this whole complex right here, turn 5 is we're going to make this left.
Yeah.
And then we go into a hard 90-degree turn 6.
Definitely first gear here.
Yeah.
So if you rolled second in a Trans Am car, it's going to be definitely geared for first as you make this turn.
Yeah.
Car's going to get a little free again coming off as you crest over that hill. And then we're going to make the left on Hermitage Avenue.
Yeah, because this is a tight. This might even be a little bit more acute than 90 degrees.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be way right, and
coming over.
Yeah.
And obviously the way the camera falls, the car is going to start to understeer a little bit.
Yeah. So it's going to want to push you over toward the wall.
Yeah. But then you're going to want to work your way all the way back. Well, obviously we're going to be on the right side here for the turning lane. But you come out of here, cross back over. You know, they're also going to have a barrier here between. The barrier is probably going to be where that Honda is up here to our left, somewhere in that area. So not going to be able to get all the way back over. But coming on a new piece of asphalt again, this whole section was all new. And see, they actually smoothed it out a little bit too. Yeah. You can see where they made the transitions a little bit better.
That's actually really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're going to be coming across around this corner and just hard on the gas.
You want to get power down. Now you're coming back across the bridge, gain all the speed that you can coming out of this section. Good transition to pavement here now. They did a good job there on that.
Yeah.
Because when they first laid it, it had a little bit of ridge to it. Hard on the gas, flat out, you know, hugging the inside of the wall. Let it drift out a little bit, kind of where we are now, but then you're going to get set back up to driver's left because you're going to want to be set up for this kink
right here.
Still flat out. Yeah. Probably looking at the track layout, best passing zones coming up here.
Yeah.
To set somebody up or coming downhill, get a draft on somebody, get the run on them that you need, but you're going to apex this probably kind of where the barriers here for the
right here.
2nd Avenue street here, the 2nd street here, come across. So you're going to start hugging that back to the inside there. But I think this is all going to be spread out because see how wide this is?
Yeah.
This is going to be the widest part of the track.
Yeah.
And so the best out-braking opportunity is going to be in this area. The start's going to happen coming across this direction also for that reason. You can see the stands they're putting up on the right side here. But good opportunity for out-braking somebody here, going back uphill a little bit. Also, we'll get in the turn lane and we'll make this left-hand turn. All right, coming diving. Now we made the left. Now we're coming down by the back side of the stadium again, down by the interstate. Pretty smooth through here, but now you've come from the fastest part of the track. Now you're coming into some of the slowest turns, you know, coming up here by the stadium.
And where's pit entrance going to be? Is it on the back side here? Or is
so
it
it's
going
to be up here on the left.
corner?
So we're going to make this left still. We're going to be hugging the barrier here to make the left.
Oh, it's right here, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
And so we'll make the left, and it'll be a hard left into pit lane there, which we can't drive through there.
Oh, right here it'll be.
Yeah, they'll come right in.
Okay. Yep. Got it.
And so that'll start the entrance to pit road, which is a long pit road. The delta here, gosh, that's going to be a 45-second delta at least for your pit lane entry. And you talk about lap time here. I'm taking a wild guess. I mean, let's say the Trans Am cars, minute 45 maybe, somewhere in there. I could be way completely off.
Right.
And GT4, GT3 will be around that same thing. IndyCar, minute 25, knock about a 20-second delta off of them.